front end or back end?
What do I mean? I'm talking about audio chains in processing. Your voice goes from here to your mouth to there, through a cable and to your preamp and your digital interface. It gets turned into ones and zeros, goes down your USB or FireWire cable, and into your computer. So when I say front end, I mean everything in between your mic and your digital interface. I'm finding many of you using preamps, but preamps with lots of other stuff. Preamps with compressors and EQ, and some even with noise gates. For voiceover, I find these devices unnecessary, especially if you don't understand what these things do. The reasons for them sound reasonable enough. You want to clean up the sound as you record so you don't have to spend time editing it. And on those 30-second spots, that adds up to what, like a couple of minutes? For sure, on long-format stuff, a front-end noise gate can save you time. But personally, I always say it's better to get your background noise down to a manageable level, physically, before you ever hit record. The other reason is just plain silly. Unless you're a full-time producer creating spots and mastering and mixing the final product, there's very little reason to process your voice. I think people get carried away and try to make their recordings sound like they do on the radio. Even worse, like on your radio in 1956.
Deep and loud.
It's not how you record that makes it sound the way it does on radio, or TV for that matter. Broadcast stations take audio and shove it through an audio chain that compresses it and equalizes it and makes it louder so it's very present on your radio. When you do it, especially if you don't know how, you're creating something loud but less dynamic. The subtleties of your voice get washed out. But chances are, if you're processing your audio that way, it's not even getting to the station because they probably hired someone else. I'm not a big fan of specialized outboard channel strips. They make you louder, but they do it the same way every time, unless you adjust them for different types of reads. But here's the number one reason I prefer doing any processing in my software, in post. When you record with processing on the front end, it's there forever. You don't do it right, it's wrong forever. If you record dry, no gates, compression, and EQ, you have total control of the output. You play with it until it sounds right, and even then with minute, subtle adjustments. And then you save it. But always save the original dry file. And that's my tip for the week.